Hello friends, this is Poonam Kuar, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Bagepalli. Today we'll be discussing the subject Consumer Behavior, which is for BBA 5th semester, Bengaluru North University. The chapter, this is from your 5th chapter, that is from Consumer Satisfaction and Consumerism. So our today's topic for discussion is Consumer Protection Act 1986. We'll be having an overview of this act. So before exactly starting today's topic, let us first quickly recap the previous session topic which we had discussed, that was relating to the reasons for growth of consumerism in India. So we have seen the reasons, the various reasons which is leading the consumerism to grow in India, how the Indian consumers are becoming aware about their rights in the present scenario. So these different reasons we have seen how the consumerism is growing in India. The learning objective of the chapter, this chapter aims to provide an understanding consumer satisfaction and consumerism. Session outcomes include the students will be able to provide an overview of Consumer Protection Act 1986. So now let us start. What is this Consumer Protection Act? So this act was enacted by Parliament in 1986 to provide for better protection of interests of the consumers, to make provisions for the establishment of consumer councils and other authorities for settlement of consumer disputes. So in India, as a consumer, if we want to complain somewhere, if we had been cheated by the marketer or by the seller, then we will be having the right to take the action against the marketer or the seller through a legal proceeding. So, where we can go and complain as a consumer is being given in the Consumer Protection Act. And as this act was passed in Parliament in 1986, so it has been named as Consumer Protection Act 1986. So this act provides a better protection for the interest of the consumers. The interest of consumers should not be harmed by any marketer for their own personal benefits from business point of view. So here, basically you might have heard about telling consumer is king of the market. So he should be or she should be treated like a king or queen. Otherwise, the consumer can go and consult in consumer protection forums where he can or she can take the legal action against any misbehave or any misconduct by the marketer. To make the provision for these kind of establishment, the consumer councils and other authorities are being set up for the settlement of the consumer disputes which are being raised with the marketers. Now here, who is a consumer? First we need to understand who is a consumer who can go and complain in these kind of consumer forums for their own dispute settlements. So consumer is the one who buys any goods for a consideration and includes a higher purchaser. Any user of such goods for consideration but excludes the one who obtains it for resale or for commercial purpose. So, he hires a service for consideration and includes a beneficiary of such a service if availed of with the approval of the hirer. Now here we need to understand exactly who is a consumer who can go and complain. If a particular person is buying some goods or service for a consideration and it includes the intention of using the goods by them, so the actual user of the product can go and complain in the consumer forums. Now suppose if we have obtained or we have purchased the goods with the intention of reselling it and making some commercial profit out of that, In such case, we are not being considered as a consumer in this situation, and we will not be able to go and consult the consumer forum for any kind of disputes. So here basically we should understand who is a consumer. The one who buys the goods with the intention to use it. He is considered as here the consumer. The beneficiaries. Deficiency service here it includes. Deficiency means any fault, imperfection, or any shortcomings or inadequacy in quality or nature or manner of performance than is required. Now, how and when we can complain? If we find some kind of deficiency in our product, so it includes, it might be the imperfection or shortcoming, or quality might not be matched as it is promised, or the nature of performance which is being expected from the product, if we are not getting it, this all will be considered as a deficiency. Now, especially we see deficiency in service. So service includes here service in connection with banking, financing, it might be with insurance or any kind of transportation, processings, supply of electrical and other energy products, or boarding or lodging, house constructions, entertainment, amusement, or purveying of news and other information. This all includes the service, but it does not include any service which is done for free of charge or or under a personal contract. Now, any service which is given in free nature, there we cannot go and consult the consumer forums for dispute redressal. Now, let us see now what is a complaint. So, an allegation in writing by a complainant that an unfair or restrictive trade practice is practiced by trader or the service provider. The goods bought or to be bought or services hired or to be hired suffer from any such kind of deficiency. The trader or service provider has charged excess price. There he can go and complain. The goods and services are hazardous or are likely to be hazardous to life and safety. In such case also there might be a complaint to be filed. Now, who is a complainant? A consumer might be a complainant. Any voluntary consumer associations who are registered under Companies Act or any other law, they can also file complaint. Central or state government, if it makes a complaint, that is also acceptable. One or more consumers having same interest, they can come together and file a complaint. In case of death of a consumer, his legal heir or representative can even also file the complaint. Now, a consumer dispute arises when a complaint is denied or disputed. Now, if the complaint is not been filed or if it is denied to file, there comes the dispute. Then, the machinery under the Act of Consumer Protection Act 1986, what we have here is Central Consumer Protection Council, which is to be established by the central government. State Consumer Protection Council, which is to be established at state level by the state governments, and even the district consumer protection councils, which are to be established by the state government for every concerned districts. Consumer dispute redressal machinery. There are consumer forums at district, state and national level. Now the district forum at the district level, then we have state commission which is at the state level, and the national commission at the national level. So the organization structure of this Consumer Protection Act, it includes three basic levels, which is from starting at district forum, that is at district level, and then comes the state commission, which will be at the state level, and national commission, which is at the national level. Now, the jurisdiction it includes is the forums where complaints can be entertained. It depends on the value of goods and service and the compensation which has been claimed in that particular complaint. So the jurisdiction limits are based on the compensation which has been claimed in the complaint. So the limits it includes are, at the district forum, we cannot, the complaint which is not exceeding 20 lakhs, like in any complaint, the compensation amount is not exceeding 20 lakhs, such complaints can be formed, because such complaints can be filed at the district level forum. Then comes, if the complaint, the compensation claim exceeds 20 lakhs, but it does not exceed rupees 1 crore. So such complaints can be filed under state commission. And then comes the National Commission. If a complaint's compensation claim amount is exceeding 1 crore, such complaints should be filed at the National Commission. The territorial jurisdiction. Territorial jurisdiction lies in the court of the place where the opposite party resides or carries on business or personally work for a gain, where cause of action wholly or partly arose. The disposal of disputes. How the disposal of disputes is done at district forum they may ask the opposite party to remove the defect, or they may ask to replace the goods with new goods and free from defect, to return to complainant the price of goods, or to pay any amount as compensation. The appeals to be preferred within 30 days. Any kind of appeals which has been given here, it should be preferred within 30 days. So from the order of the district forum to the state commission, and from the order of the state commission to the national commission, can entertain appeals beyond 30 days on sufficient cause shown for the delay. It has to be disposed within 90 days from its admission. The time limit for filing the complaint. Within 2 years from the date on which the cause of action arises. Even where the time limit expires, the complaint can be taken up, provided complainant is able to satisfy the forum or commission about the reasonableness in the delay. The delay for every single day has to be explained. So here, if the complaint filing is been delayed, then such delay should be explained with justification. So friends, in our today's session, we have seen what is this Consumer Protection Act and who is a consumer in this Consumer Protection Act, how the consumers have been defined under this act. Then we have seen the deficiency service, when we can call it as a deficiency in service, and which are the different kinds of services which has been included under this. Then what is a complaint we have seen, who can file a complaint in this consumer under this Consumer Protection Act we have seen. Then what are the different machineries under this act we have to solve the disputes. Then the 3 different levels of the Consumer Protection Act, that is district forum, state commission and the national commission. The different jurisdiction under this district, state and national commission we have seen, and what is the financial compensation claim limit under the district forum we have seen, which should not be exceeding 20 lakhs. Under the state commission we have seen, which should not, if it exceeds 20 lakhs but not exceeds 1 crore, then it should be referred to state commission. And if the compensation claim amount is exceeding 1 crore, then such complaint should be referred to the national commission. Then later we have seen the territorial jurisdiction and how this disposal of disputes takes place under this Consumer Protection Act. This has been discussed. And lastly, we have seen the time limit for filing the complaint. Hope you guys have understood it. Thank you. Thanks for listening.